Welcome back, everyone. So planning for retirement can be quite complicated, so taking the time to get it done can be beneficial for you and your family.
Here with some tips to help you out, we have Gary Pricer from the Oxford Advisory Group. So as we start out, one of the things, planning for retirement, I think, especially for me, I only really know like through my job. So like first, what are steps people need to know? Like where do you even start from?
Well, the first key is really to save money, and one of the things that we really focus on along the path towards retirement is watching those balances in your retirement accounts grow, because those assets have to turn into income for you when you get into retirement. But it's not just about what you have; it's about how much of that you can keep.
Right.
And there tends to be three ways specifically that retirees or people preparing for retirement can give away their money that they might not be aware of.
So let's talk about the first one, which you say, is it yellow? You said being in the yellow or something?
If we're in yellow money, which is what we call lazy money, it's safe money, but it's not going to lose when the market goes down, but it's also not going to grow, which means you're going to lose to inflation.
And you're talking about people that are putting their money specifically in just a regular bank account.
Savings
right?
accounts, CDs, anything that's not earning more than what the inflation rate is. Absolutely.
But so many people are afraid to put their money somewhere else, which I'm one of them. I kept a lot of money in my savings accounts because I, was concerned about putting it somewhere else.
As well, you should be, because that's a huge concern. We see market corrections on average every 7 years, and market correction is really a terrible euphemism for a 30% drop in the market, which retirees can't afford. And so we have to find a better balance because we want the growth to exceed inflation, but we also have to protect from losses when they inevitably come, which will happen multiple times throughout retirement.
So how do you do that?
What we try to focus on is finding the proper balance and incorporating what we call green money. And this is money that is protected from loss on the downside, but also can get a higher rate of return to outpace inflation. Look ideally in kind of the 5 to 7% range. And if you can find a better balance of all three different types of money, then you're going to be better prepared no matter what happens in the market or in the economy.
So are mutual funds what we're looking at, stocks, or,
Stocks, if stocks can lose, if an investment can lose, then it's considered red money. So stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. There are other investments, other products that are available. It takes some more time to dig into these and to find out if they are a good fit for you, but they do exist. They've been used for a long time. Not enough people are aware of them.
But what are they?
There's lots of different types. Annuities have some of the features of green money, but there are other products that give you the protection on the downside, but still give you growth when the market is up.
Got to do your research.
You do have to do your research.
Absolutely.
And this is actually something for me where I was thinking about when I was younger, this might be a question. I know you're kind of getting into the green money, the red money, but how do you even just start saving if you don't have money to save? Do you have tips for that, you think?
You got to get on a budget. You got to get on a budget. And that's the toughest thing, is to figure out how to live within your means, what sacrifices you need to make now so that you can pay big dividends in the future. And that's, again, a very individual decision and a process. But if you have more going out than is coming in, it makes it really hard to find enough money for retirement.
Well, we have very few seconds left, so I just want to, we talked a little bit about inflation decreases the value of assets, market loss, explain what we're seeing here on the screen.
Yeah, when market loss, we don't want to lose when the market is down. But the third thing that most people are not aware of, because they take it for granted, is taxation. And most middle Americans are saving for retirement in tax-deferred accounts, which is fine when you're working. But when you're in retirement, your taxable income could end up being even higher than it is now, because you don't have the same deductions that you had when you were working. And we know that the likelihood is that taxes are going to be going up in the future, which means you're going to be giving away more money to the government than you planned on.
So what's the solution there?
Start to get a strategy now, create a plan now to shift those assets from tax-deferred accounts into tax-free accounts. A Roth is one example of those, so that when those tax increases occur, they won't affect you.
Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
All right, appreciate it.
Very good tips.
From the Oxford Advisory Group. All right, we will be back with more